Hello, Soldier Boy here. So this is Daily Race B. Something a little bit different. This is 7 races, trying out 7 different cars. Just wanted to see if it made any difference. So for the first race, I'd picked my Aston Martin. Some of these cars I had, some I brought just to see if there's a difference. The Aston Martin DBR9 GTI. My best time was a 2:13.904. So completely rubbish, admittedly. But I've used this car previously. I think I've got a win. One of my wins is with this car on one of the other daily races. So I know the car. I just couldn't get it together in the qualifying laps, to be fair. But we'll see how this goes. So we're starting down in 13th place, so not the best start at all. And a little bit tentative from the corners here as you start. Biggest thing with Daily Race B, you need to qualify high. You want to avoid that corner right at the start because straight away you're miles behind the cars ahead of you. I'm 11 seconds down after just crossing the start-finish line. You know, it's a long way back, and to try and make up straight away. But into the first corner, this car does handle nicely. It tends to stick to the road. You can chuck into a corner quite well. Tends to keep it together. Car going off there, so we've got one position. A few cars having a few issues ahead of us. So we've managed to catch a few of the cars ahead at least. 11's going sideways there and off. So another position. We've moved up 2 positions already. Number 10's having a little bit of an issue there as well. Yeah, the Aston Martin just sticks to the road. It is lovely to drive. I don't know why I couldn't get it together in qualifying, to be fair. 9th goes into the gravel, so that's him gone. So we're up to 10th. Take another place there. He's spun by looks of things. So up to 9th now. We're about halfway through the first lap. So we've gone from 13th to 9th, and then we messed up. Trying to take the car and just messed it all up. There was no reason to try and overtake him there. And then I'm struggling to get the power down. Never had this issue with the Aston Martin before. But for some reason I just was struggling to keep it on the road and stop it spinning while I was trying to get the power down. Weird one. Not sure what I was doing wrong at this point. But it was causing me some issues. So I've dropped all the way back to 12th because of my little spin. This is not what I wanted to do. Car goes off ahead of us, so we're going to take him, but then we've gone off into the gravel as well and lost the place. We're back down to 13th now of 13 people. And this is still the first lap. So, yeah, not ideal. But a lot of it, yeah, my errors more than anything else. A bit overzealous trying to overtake a car when I shouldn't have done, that kind of thing. This is why I am learning. You've got to pick your overtaking points. Car's gone off there. He's gone too hard into the chicane, I think you'd call that. So we move up a place in the 12th anyway. At the end of the first lap. We are chasing down 11th, but we are a long way behind. He's gone a bit all over the place though, and we've got 11th. He just couldn't hold into the corner. We're going to skip ahead now. It's halfway through second lap. We're still in 11th, but one of the cars we've taken at the start of the lap comes back on us, barges his way through, and takes the position back. So we've dropped back down to 12th of 13. 3 cars have dropped out of the race. But we're trying to take back 11th after he forced his way through. We got quite close to him there, but yeah, I always have to brake for that corner for some reason to just make sure I actually hold it, which obviously slows me down, and he didn't brake. It's only a small tap, but it's enough to take some speed off at least. So on to the third lap. And we are chasing down. I've done a competitive lap time, 2:08. Considering I couldn't qualify higher than 2:13, a 2:08 in race is something. So we've taken a little bit of an argy-bargy between me and the car ahead of us there. Donald, I think his name was. I wouldn't say it was payback when he barged past me, he turned in on me. He obviously didn't know I was there, or didn't look, or hasn't got radar, or I don't know. But he didn't. He obviously just turned in, and there's nothing I could have done. He bounced off me. No penalties though, so it shows the penalty system is working to a degree, as I don't think it's really anyone's fault. But it's got us back up to 10th at least. There's a yellow flag ahead. We can see a couple of the cars ahead of us. That's something. One car's gone massively off and has respawned back on the track, so we take his position a little bit sideways onto the gravel there. But we're up to 9th. I was expecting better. Alright, I qualified badly and I made some big mistakes on the first lap. But I know this car is good. I know this car handles well. So I was expecting better. Considering I know the track from the Nations Cup, yeah, I was expecting more from this car. But anyway, we're up to 9th. We can see the cars ahead of us. We are within range of them. We just need to keep on at them now and not make any mistakes. But yeah, the whole point of this video was I tend to look at the fastest times in the world and the car they use, and generally most times for any daily race, Nations Cup can be a bit different, but generally the daily races it's one car, and then everyone tries to use that car and tries to replicate the times. Well, I wanted to see, does it make that much difference? Because surely I believed it was player skill over car. I'm open to being wrong, admittedly, but I just wanted to see if there was a big difference between cars, skill, luck of the draw, and who you race against as well also comes into play, I suppose. But yeah, I just wanted to see if you do go for the car that the best times have come from, would you be better for it? Because I tend to not pick the best car. But is that a mistake I'm making? Car ahead, 8th, going all over the place there, under braking. So we're right on the back of him. We're going to bit off there, which is going to slow us down. Taking the corner nicely. We're right on his tail, just trying to push it to try and catch him really and take that place. Under braking, we brake a bit later, which gets us even closer to him. And he's hit the wall after going off onto the gravel. He's defended nicely there. We're going to take the inside line, carry more speed in, brake for the corner. He's given us a little tap at the butt, trying to turn it around the corner. That little tap just stopped us turning the corner properly. There's cars straight behind us. We're struggling to get the power down. Lost one position, got tapped again, which has probably helped us get going, to be fair, if anything. So because of that mistake the tap and the mistake on the corner, combination of both, lost the place there. We've lost Pablo Chad. He's trying to get past us, take 10th place. Yeah, he's taken it. He's struggling to hold his car on the track though. I've gone very wide into the corner. There's a penalty for 9th. So we're currently sat in 11th. Not the ideal. It's our own little fault really. We got tapped and then we didn't brake properly. It was a combination of everything really on that corner. Trying to keep up with the cars ahead. 10th goes a little bit off there. There's a penalty for 9th, so there is a chance we'll get pulled into 10th place depending on his penalty and the severity and how close I am come the end. So I'm really pushing just to keep as close to him as possible. Try and stay in the slipstream just to help and across the line. And we've been promoted to 10th. So not bad. I could have done better. Because I know the car, I was a little bit disappointed with the Aston Martin. But that was my first race of the day, 10th place, with a 13th qualifying. It's not too bad. So next was the Mitsubishi Lancer Evo. Our quickest time of it was a 2:09.493, which started us in 12th. So a 4-second difference, 4.5 second difference to our Aston Martin qualifying time, and we gained one placing in the starting positions. Not good, but massive improvement in qualifying. I think the Aston Martin could have gone quicker. If I could hold it together for a lap decently and I could figure out my issue putting the power down, I think we'd have a chance. So I like the look of this car. The handling's not too bad. I think I prefer the handling to the Aston Martin, but it's not a bad car. braking for the corner. We punt the car ahead. He slams on the brakes and just sits on the corner. I don't know what was going on there. I know he's got a penalty for pushing the other car off. But yeah, he just sat there and we had nowhere to go. So we've gained a place because of the car he pushed off. And he's gone off track now, so we're going to take his place and go straight past him. So up to 10th in the first couple of corners. Going through, I believe these are called the S's. We can see 9th ahead of us. And interesting, considering the first race we were 11 seconds off the leader straight away, we're a lot closer this time. 9th has gone off, but he's back on the track. But another car's gone off, and luckily it was ghosted, otherwise he would have been taking us out. So up to 9th, we're competing with 8th now. He's gone off, trying to defend the position, just couldn't hold it together. So we're now up to 8th from 12th, halfway through the first lap. And we can see the cars ahead of us. We are trying to catch. This car does hold speed well in the corners. I did find that. And braking, it was very good on the brakes. This is a car I've not used before either, so it was interesting to try and use different cars I'm not used to using. You know, I usually use the Huracan, use the Aston Martin. I haven't. All the other cars I'm going to show you, I've not really used. So up to 6th, coming into the penultimate corner. We've gained quite a few positions on this first lap. In fact, we gained 6 positions on one lap alone. You know, that's never a bad thing, is it? Really. Holding it into the chicane there, and we are close to the cars ahead. And we're still within touch striking distance of them. Like I say, under braking, this car is really nice. 5th has gone off. Is ghosting, so we've taken his position. We are now up to 5th, and we're going to skip ahead to near the end of lap 2. We're still in 5th, but the car we'd overtaken earlier, Pablo Chad, is coming back at us, so he's taken the position back from us, and we're just going to follow him into the chicane now. We're still on him. We're still close enough. He massively caught us up quickly. Slipstream and all that does help massively, and he really caught us up quickly. But we've got to slipstream him now. We're sticking in his slipstream. I'm going to pull out and try and take him on the first corner. I know this car is very good under brakes in the first corner. We braked a little bit harder than we normally would, but 4th has gone off and got a penalty. 5th is struggling. We've managed just to clip him, but still make it past. We've gained 5th back again, and he got a little touch at the back there by Pablo Chad. That's okay. Holding it together in the corners. Like I said, grip-wise, this car has fantastic mechanical grip. With 4th penalty, we're looking in a good position here. Just got to hold it. Just managing to keep it on there. Just managing to stay out the gravel. That would have been close. And then I've spun it. I got on the grass and couldn't keep it together. Couldn't get the power down properly. And again, struggling to get the power down. I'm trying not to full throttle it. I'm just struggling so much with the power. So we've lost 3-4 positions there. All because of a little mistake, and again sliding everywhere. Just couldn't get the power to work. I don't know if that was just me being overzealous with the acceleration. I wasn't fully depressing it, but it was, yeah, I just couldn't get the car to go anywhere. Dirty tyres doesn't help admittedly as well. So all that hard work at the start we've kind of lost. We're now in 8th. But it's okay. Still got 1 lap to go. Got 1 position back on the penalty section. Penultimate corner. 7th place. 6th and 5th are ahead of us. We can see them. It's always a nice feeling when you can see the cars ahead. If they're out in the distance, you've got no chance of seeing them. It's different. 6 has gone off and taken the chicane really badly. They were having really slow on the exit there. We've managed just a little skid there, but we've managed to hold it together. So we're going to go through onto the last lap in 6th place. We started in 12th. That's 6 positions up. I can't complain really, can I? You know, that's still a good effort considering the qualifying time. We improved so much, and yet only 1 position extra in the qualifying. So it's a shame, but we're still going. Yeah, seeing the cars ahead gives you extra momentum because it makes you focus more on them. Makes you try. It does make you take more risks, I find, or I tend to take more risks because you see them and think, well, I'll push. And the more you push, the riskier it can be at times. But it does give you momentum and motivation to keep going and keep pushing. That's the thing. So it works both ways. Risk and reward at the end of the day. Taking the corner nicely. There's a couple of cars ahead, and I think one's got a penalty as well. Yeah. So there are positions to be gained here on the final lap. Into the corner. Taking it a bit tighter than I'd like to. I should be more out of the way. One car's gone off. So we're struggling to get the power down. They've managed just to get it going. We're in 5th. 4th has a penalty. So there is a chance if we can get close enough to 4th, we can take that position. If not, with just the chicane kind of tricky corner to come. Just got to be close enough for his penalty. He's gone wide. He's gone very, very wide there. He's managed to hold it together. But with catching, and his penalty is going to come into effect, we should go flying past him, hopefully. There we go. Yes. Gone. So we're now in 4th place. Corner and a chicane to go. And 1st and 2nd have already finished. Don't think we're catching 3rd. I think we're too far away. But we can't even. Oh, we can just see him coming out of the chicane there. So we're going to through the chicane. 4th place. From 12th. Happy. Very, very happy with that effort. So yeah, very, very happy. So just confirmation of the 4th place there. So next car we're going to do is the BMW M6 GT3 M-Power. Never used this car before. It was one of the ones I had in my collection. I think I won it, gift car, something like that. Fastest time managing qualifying, a lowly 2:18. So we went on the past qualifying time of 2:09.493, starting 13th. Yeah, this car, I just couldn't get it going in qualifying. I don't know what it was. I wasn't holding out much hope, to be honest. So we're going off the qualifying time over the Mitsubishi, which is okay. Annoyingly, I found this car annoying in its squeaks a lot, and I kept looking around thinking, where's that noise coming from? It's the car, but it's like a metal squeaking. Doesn't hold the corners as well as the Mitsubishi does, or the Aston Martin, to be fair. As you can see, I'm having to go a bit slower into the corners because it just doesn't hold them as well. It does slide a little bit, which is one of the problems I had in qualifying, which is why I didn't improve and got such a lowly time. Car's gone off and goes to the head of us, so we're up to 1 position, up to 12th. He's coming back at us, a little nudge there. I'm wary we're going to get punted if we're not careful. Into the corner, managed to keep it together. There's a group of 3 ahead of us, which are fighting amongst themselves, so I'm hoping they kind of mess each other up and slow each other down. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear the little squeaking bits I mean from the car. There's a few of them, and it is rather annoying. 11th has gone onto the grass and into the gravels. He's gone, so we're up another place. So we're up 2 places now from the start on the first lap. We're still following the cars, so we can still see them, so that's all good. Just got to keep in touch. Got a bit of a gap to the car behind now, which is also good. Can relax a bit, we're not going to be diving from behind or anything like that. Because that is always a worry, some of these corners. You get pushed off and into the gravel, your race is done, that's the problem. Holding it together there. There's a yellow flag ahead, I'm not too sure what's happened ahead of us. Braking for the chicane. And there's another car joining. He must have gone off the car in 8th, because he's been pulled right back into the other two. So there's now 3 cars we're aiming for ahead of us. Because we started in 13th, we finished the first lap in 11th. So it's 2 places gained in 1 lap, which weren't too bad. They're fighting amongst themselves. There's a car ghosted there. We're going to take him. We're up to 10th now. He must have spun or something to make himself ghosted, and he was just sat there. And there's another car that's gone into the gravel ahead of us, so we're going to take his place as well. So a lot of these places we're taking aren't through pure brilliance of overtaking. It is all based because they're going off into the gravel, and the gravel slows you down a lot. If you touch in that gravel, you're having a bad race. But they're all positions to be gained at the end of the day. If people are going to go off, it's better to take them while they're off the track than having to battle and try and take them on the track sometimes. There's always that risk they're just going to knock you off. So I'll take every position I can get. So currently up to 9th. 8th and 7th only just ahead of us, and 6th is a little bit further down the road. We have got a car behind us though, who's right on our tail now. We kind of got a better line out, and there's a car off to the side, so we're up into 8th now. And there's another yellow flag ahead of us. Not too sure, there we go, car spun off there, so we're up to 7th. We are gaining positions left, right and centre based on people's mistakes. 2 laps in with this car. Yeah, I'm not a fan. BMW, a lot of people love them. I'm just not a fan of them. This, for me, was probably the worst handling car that I've had so far. Other than the Tesla. The Tesla was annoying. If you haven't watched that video, I suggest having a look. It's like driving on ice. It wasn't as bad as the Tesla, and it might be because it's on hard tyres, which obviously are one of the least grippiest tyres. Longest life but least grippiest, so that does make a difference in some of the handling. I just didn't like it, and that annoying noise it makes. Yeah, not a fan. So we're starting lap 3, we're into 7th place. 6th, 5th and 4th are ahead of us, and we can see them. So in theory we're aiming for 4th again, like we finished the last race. 6th has spun, just lost it on the curve there by the looks of it, so we're into 6th. Yeah, so this test of different cars, is there a difference in using the car that sets the fastest time?
I'm listening.
It's not a scientific test by any means. Like I say, I bought a couple of cars that are coming up. Most of them I did have. I think I bought 2 actually in total. The rest I had from daily races and doing the amount of mileage in a day, that kind of stuff. But it was nice to drive different cars. Like, some were bad, some were good. This one, yeah, not a fan. I will probably give it another go at some other point in a different race. But at this point, yeah, I wasn't that impressed. So we're currently in 6th. Still got another lap to go after this. We can see 5th ahead of us. He's gone off, is spun, so we're taking 4th now. And we're going to skip ahead to the final lap. We're still in 5th. And we're going to finish in 5th place. Yeah, like I say, not a fan of the BMW M6, but you'll have to give it a go yourself and see what you think. So confirmation now of 5th place. I've gained 8 positions, never a bad thing. So the next car is my trusted sidekick, my Lamborghini Huracan. Got a qualifying time of 2:09.281, so that's the fastest time yet. This car, I like driving the Lambos, really like driving the Lambos. Representing them in the manufacturer series currently. But they can be very, very slidey on the rear end, especially under braking. So straight away, we've not even crossed the start finish line yet and someone's squeezing their way past. I know this car and I know how bad it is under braking. So I was aware of it, so I was a little bit tentative. But I still made a brilliant time in qualifying. I beat my time. I only started in 14th though. So even though I bettered my qualifying time, 14th was my best start. And as you saw there, under braking, this car is horrendous. Especially on the hard tyres. Go on the softer tyres, seems lovely. Hard tyres, it struggles. Just the lack of grip. Onto the grass there. Just struggling so much with the tyres. We had taken 14th after he span. He's got us back though. Yeah, just back end is all over the place. Another car spun off there. So up to 14th. We started in 15th. And into the gravel we go. Dropping down to 15th now. Just, yeah. If it wasn't on hard tyres, this car would be brilliant at this track. I think it is the lack of grip from the hard tyres. And considering I've driven this car a lot, it surprised me how difficult it was to drive on this track. It really did. And I used this car for the Nations Cup. And it didn't have this issue. So I do believe it's the tyres more than the car itself. And it was just a little bit weird really. But we're last place, 16th of 16. And we spin out, which is basically race over. So we're going to skip ahead because we are now last. And 2 cars have dropped out, so we haven't actually gained 2 positions to 14th. We're at the end of the final lap. Didn't even finish the race. That was how bad it was with the Lamborghini. We had some good finishes previously with the Mitsubishi and the BMW. Lambo let us down. Next car is another one that I like the look of, haven't driven before. The Chevrolet Corvette C7. Managed to set a qualifying time of, get this, a 2:06.3. That's 3 seconds faster than I've done yet. Pretty impressed. The handling was really nice. I think it's the low centre of gravity. It's quite low to the ground. Yeah, really like this car. We actually qualified because of our new qualifying time in 7th place, which I was pretty impressed with. That's our highest qualifying position yet. And like I say, the handling was lovely. I need to use this car more. Under braking, handling, lovely. Ghosted a bit, we're taking a position because someone went off. We did punt the back of the car there. Under braking, he kind of stopped. I was still going a little bit too quickly probably, but both still on the track, no penalties. I don't know if you've noticed that the races you've seen so far, we've seen 4 races so far. I've yet to get a penalty. Yeah, I'm surprised as well. My safety rating is back up to S, but yeah, I was just as surprised. 5th has gone very wide there, so we're right in the back of him now. And yeah, this Corvette, give him a little punt at the back there. He brakes a little bit more than I was expecting, but he stays on the track at least. Cutting that corner really nicely. I was really impressed with that corner. It's always nice to cut it, no penalty, but it just smoothly goes over. There's a car off ahead of us, so we're going to take that position. So that's going to put us into 5th. But then we lost it because we just couldn't get the power down again. We were very, very slow on acceleration there. So we're going to try and keep the inside now, coming up to this right hand corner. But he's defended the right hand side, that's fine. So we're just going to slide him behind. He's overdone it into the corner, very, very wide. We're going to get a better line into this corner and follow into his slipstream now. Yeah, if you get the chance and you're doing daily races and you can pick whatever car you want out of Group 3, Group 4, things like that, it's always worth trying cars you wouldn't normally try. By all means, look at what car people are using to set the fastest time. But if it's always the same car, pick something else. Try it. Because it's interesting what kind of races you have and different cars you get a feel for. Like I say, this Corvette, like the look of it, never used it. Pretty impressed with it. Really, really impressed with it, to be fair. And this was one that was just sitting in my garage that I didn't even think about. So cars head battling. One's been forced wide. We're going to go straight past him now. A little bit of a bump as we go past him, but nothing we can really do. We're going to skip ahead to the final lap. Still in 5th place. Nothing really happened after taking the 5th place on the start of the 2nd lap. 4th has spun out. We're going to take 4th as well now. But in between that, nothing really happened. We were just consistent, nice and consistent, just holding it together really. We can see the podium ahead of us. Chance of getting there, unless there's a massive mistake, unlikely. But we are going to push. It's all to play for. We know that people can make mistakes, especially if you put them under pressure. If you are sitting just behind them, putting them under pressure, they will make mistakes. That's the thing. If you can't put the pressure on, people will relax and they won't make the mistakes. So you've got to still keep pushing. But we're in 4th. It's definitely not a bad position to be in a car that I've had a couple of laps of practicing and then done the race with. But yeah, all in all, probably one of my favourite cars so far, the Chevrolet Corvette. Really happy with it. Good under braking, good downforce, and I thought, okay, acceleration. Okay, it could be quicker under acceleration. Can be a little bit hesitant. But then the cars here are capped, so that could be improved, I suppose. So there we are, confirmation, 4th place finish. Definitely not a bad one. We started in 7th, but definitely not a bad race for us. Pretty happy. So the next one is a new one for me. I actually went and bought this car just because I was looking for the stats of different cars and just seeing what was one of the best ones cornering at this kind of this level. So I found the Mazda Atenza. Set a time of 2:05.210, my best time yet. Qualified us in 7th. The qualifying time, I was amazed. Did not expect to beat the 2:06 set by the Corvette. This thing smashed it. A 2:05, a whole second quicker. Considering I started the day on a 2:13, 8-second improvement by changing car. This is my 6th car, 6th race. So we hit the car ahead of us. We got bumped ourselves. No penalties. That kind of helped us keep going, to be fair. Surprised I didn't get a penalty for the bump I gave the other car. But there we go. This car was lovely. It was so nice. Speed was nice. Mechanical grip. Braking. Yeah, this was a dream to drive. And if I get a chance to go back on the daily race Bs while they're still on this week, I will carry on doing more laps in this car. Because this was lovely. Alright, we got a bit caught out on the corner there, but we've kept position. We're still in 6th. But yeah, I did like this car. It did take a bit of time getting used to all the different cars. When I just finished one race with one, jumping a different one, knowing the grip levels are different, acceleration, that kind of stuff is all different. So, qualifying laps, I think I finished the race and I had 6 minutes in a new car doing so we got about 2 qualifying laps in before the next race. So it was quite quick, one after the other. And some were harder to get used to than the others. The BMW was horrendous. The Lambo was its normal self. Gaining position there as the car goes off. The Mazda though, I started using it. I got a couple of laps in, set my fastest ever time, and yeah, just felt comfortable immediately. Didn't have to brake as heavy at that corner as I have done in all the other cars. Could hold it nicely. Braking nicely here for the chicane. We've caught back up with 3rd and 4th really easily. They're all over the place as well. We're going to try and keep in the slipstream as we finish the first lap. And one car's gone. So we're up to 4th. We can see the podium ahead of us. That's got to be our aim with this car. Because that's how good this car has been. I've not really seen it used before either. Not very often anyway. I say not very often. I don't think I've ever seen it used. But I could be wrong. But yeah, very nice car. Very nice looking car as well. Sounds nice. Handles nicely. Well, we're chasing down 3rd. I'm digressing massively instead of actually focusing on the racing at this point. Holding it together into the S's. It just holds the road nicely. Breaking the corner, holding the corner nicely. We are still up there, we're still on him. Second isn't too far up the road either, to be fair. But we just got to put him under some pressure now. If we can catch him a little bit more, we can put him under some pressure and hope he makes a mistake. He's gone very tight on the inside of the corner. We're okay, we've got a decent line out, decent speed away. The acceleration on this thing is very, very good. And even under braking as well. It brakes nicely and it's stable in corners. He's wobbling all over about. If you notice, the car in third is wobbling to and fro as he's trying to take the corner. We were just straight round really nicely and we're right on the back of him. We're in his slipstream. He's trying to move to the left so we're not in his slipstream. I've decided to stay right. I knew he was trying to break the slipstream. That's fine. Taking the corner. We're a lot more stable after the corner he was. Braking for the chicane. Cutting it nicely. And we are right on him now. We've just got to keep in his slipstream. He will try and break it more than likely. And try and be to a different side of the road just to keep us out of it. But that's okay. We set our fastest lap of the race at 2:05. Slightly off our qualifying time. But, you know, this shows how quick this car is. And we're catching him up in the corners. We're definitely better than him in the corners, it seems. We can carry more speed, I think. And we're a lot more stable. So I'm just biding my time at this point. I know I can take him at the corners. But I also know it's the worst time to try and take someone. Because there is every chance. It takes one hit, I'm off in the gravel, race done. And it wouldn't be doing this car justice to just mess it all up. So we've backed off a little, but we're still on him. 2 laps to go, and the other thing is he's pulling us back. He's pulling us with him towards second place, which is good. So there is always that extra chance there. Someone one of the two of them makes a mistake, and even first, they're not a long way away. We've taken that very deep into that corner, but we didn't compromise this too much. We've still got a decent line out. Still hoping he makes a mistake, to be honest. I will need that. I can catch him on the twists and turns at the start of the lap, but after that we're quite even. Get a bit high onto the grass there, which means I had to slow down a little bit. It slowed me down, but also I could feel the car trying to go, so I had to back off a little bit there, which was a shame, but we are still pushing. We're into the chicane for the end of lap 3. We took it very deep, but we've just managed to hold it together. We are right up the back of the car in third now. And we know we've got a chance to catch him in the curves at the start. We set a new fastest lap for ourselves of a 2:04, so alright, the slipstream does make a big difference. We've got very tight into there, which has messed our line up. That's not a good line to take, being tight. You do want to go a little bit wide there and come in. But we're okay. Just trying to keep with him at this point, get as close as possible. So we've got a good chance to overtake later on. Very nice and tight through there. Taking the corner, just got a little bit off there. Managed to hold it on just. Got a bit of gravel, but we've got a bit of a gap to the car behind, so we've lost time on third now. The wheel onto the gravel, the sliding, that did really mess us up there. We've gone deep into the corner as well and just sat on the apex. That hasn't helped. Third hasn't got too far away. He didn't take the corner nicely either. But we are probably too far away now to get anything from him, unless he makes a massive error. We're trying to keep it tight. We're onto the grass a little bit there, but that's okay. Managing to hold it together. We've got his slipstream. We're trying to keep in it, but I'm probably a little bit too far back to actually find any major effect of it. There is always the chicane to make a mistake on. That's the thing. We've got to hope he messes the chicane up. Really, that's our only major hope here. He doesn't. He nails it. We've cut it nicely as well. We are literally on his tail right now. But it looks like we're going to come away with 3rd place. And this was my favourite car of the session. The Mazda Atenza. If you get a chance, give it a go. So the next race, I went for the Audi R8 LMS. This is the car that set the best time in the world. And this is what happened in my race. This was how my race finished. Last place, spinning out. Not even going to finish the race. The flag will fall before I've got anywhere. This car was rapid. This car was quick. This car was horrendous to keep on the track. So in conclusion, just because it set the fastest time in the world, to me, I like trying the others. I like trying to find the little gems. And I hope you do too. Anyway, that's me done for now. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.